Alright, what is going on, guys? It's Tazz here, and welcome back to the channel. Now today we've got for you guys is another Supergirl video. So spoiler warning if you guys are not caught up with Supergirl this season, but if you are, let's continue. In Season 3 of Supergirl, we have had an amazing big bad in the form of Rain, who is sort of a split personality living inside of Sam. And throughout the last few episodes, we have seen Rain take the power of the other two world killers who were killed, Purity and Pestilence, and has become even more overpowered than she already was. But even with the super power up that Rain got, her friends at the DEO, along with some help from Lena, have been working on a way to somehow split Sam from Rain, freeing Sam from Rain's control and putting a stop to Rain permanently. So the big question going into the last few episodes of Supergirl for this season is how will Rain be defeated and what is going to happen to Sam once Rain is inevitably defeated. So in the most recent episode, Kara and Mon-El journeyed to space in order to try to find another rock that would help them separate Rain from Sam, but instead found a piece of Krypton that had survived. And that piece of Krypton that survived was of course Argo City, and there Kara was able to reunite with her thought to be dead mother, as well as a bunch of other Kryptonians who survived the explosion of Krypton. One of which I thought was actually pretty interesting, was actually Rain's maker, and I think that she will play a pretty big part in the season going forward, especially considering the synopsis for the finale was released, and it did mention that Rain's maker would seemingly be a pretty big threat for the finale. And considering the set pictures for the filming of the Supergirl Season 3 finale, it seems like going up against Rain and or Rain's maker is going to be a very difficult thing to do within the finale, because we see a team up of Kara, Mon-El, Emra, Alex, Guardian, along with Kara's mom, Allura. And they are all out there fighting together, presumably against Rain, or maybe even Rain's maker. And even though it seems like it is going to be pretty difficult to actually stop Rain, I think we can all assume that Rain is eventually defeated, leaving room for Rain's maker to be sort of the big bad in the finale. But with Rain's inevitable defeat, what happens to Sam and Rain after this happens? Now, there are a couple of different ways that this could go. The first option is not my favorite, and I think is probably the less likely of the two options, but the first option would be that Rain, along with Sam, end up dying. Now, the reason I don't think that they will end up killing Rain or Sam is just because earlier on in the season, they did make such a big deal about Emra not killing Pestilence, and how they were pretty much having this sort of conversation that they had on Flash about sort of, you know, just heroes don't kill people, and that's sort of not the way to get things done. And as well, in the most recent episode, we had Rain still locked up in Lena's lab, and she was pretty much telling Lena that the only way to stop her would be to end up killing her and Sam in the process, and we all know that that is not something that anybody would want to do. And again, while it is a possibility that this does end up happening and Rain along with Sam ends up dying, I just don't see this happening, and I just hope that they don't end up doing this. And now the next option is one that has been highly discussed for a while here now, ever since we learned that Rain had a split personality, and that was using black kryptonite to end up splitting Rain from Sam and making them both into kind of two separate people like black kryptonite does within the comics. So in case you guys were unfamiliar with black kryptonite is pretty much just a form of kryptonite that is created, and it is sort of just a black color, and what it does is it's used to separate personalities, and that's kind of the situation that we have here, is Rain is kind of a split personality from Sam, so I just feel like the most logistical option for them to go with here is that Lena ends up creating some sort of black kryptonite and then using it to separate Rain from Sam. And the way that I feel like this will happen is through the use of the rock that Kara and Mon-El were able to get from Argo City. And now this rock that they were going after pretty much was sort of the same type of thing as black kryptonite. Lena thought that she was going to be able to take this rock and then kind of reverse engineer it to be able to split Sam from Rain. And in the promotional pictures for the next episode, we do have a couple of pictures showcasing Lena working within her lab with some sort of black substance, and in my opinion this is most likely the black rock that was taken and probably melted down to create some sort of version of black kryptonite for the show, and this again could be used to help split Sam from Rain. And now, considering that this rock is not exactly black kryptonite from the comics, I feel like there's a possibility that it works slightly differently. But the main thing I think is that it will end up getting rid of the Rain personality without harming Sam or possibly even taking away her Kryptonian abilities. And if this were to happen and Sam ends up keeping the Kryptonian abilities that Rain had once Rain is defeated and sort of pushed out of Sam's body, I feel like that would actually be really cool to have Sam in the show with the sort of Kryptonian abilities and possibly end up helping out Supergirl along with the DEO in the end fight against Rain's maker. Now I feel like that would be actually pretty cool to see and sort of have everything kind of come full circle for the season. But I do feel like the only way for Sam to end up keeping these Kryptonian powers would be if she was kind of depowered ever so slightly by getting rid of the powers from Purity and Pestilence. I feel like if she were able to actually keep those in conjunction with the sort of normal Kryptonian abilities like Supergirl, like Superman have, I feel like that would just make her super overpowered. So I feel like she's just going to keep these sort of core essential Kryptonian powers. And if at the end of the season we are actually left with Sam still alive and her actually having the Kryptonian powers, I think I have a pretty cool idea of where this character could end up in the end of the season. Now, from a bunch of set pictures and everything, we do know that at least Emra is going to be back within the finale, so this most likely means that she is going to be bringing Brainy along with her, so we're going to have the Legion all back here in the present. So I feel like it would be really cool if we had Sam with her Kryptonian abilities end up going to the future with the Legion and actually joining them and becoming sort of a future version of Supergirl. I feel like this would be very fitting not only for the character of Sam, but also for the Legion themselves, because they did kind of base their whole philosophy of the Legion off of Supergirl. So if they did have another Kryptonian that had the same sort of powers as Supergirl with them in the future, I feel like that would be pretty cool. And now the only thing that would go against this theory from sort of, you know, coming true is Sam's daughter Ruby. In the last few episodes, we have had Alex kind of watch over Ruby while Sam has been Rain kind of full time, but once Sam is actually no longer Rain, Sam would want to most likely try to make up for all of that lost time with Ruby. And unfortunately, I feel like that might not include going to the future for Sam to become a superhero. But who knows, maybe Sam ends up going to the future with the Legion to sort of, you know, learn how to hone her abilities and learn how to use her Kryptonian abilities for good and to be a hero, so she ends up going to the future for a little bit and maybe leaving Ruby behind with Alex, who again has been taking pretty good care of her for the last few episodes. But overall, guys, I just feel like this sort of black Kryptonite rock substance is going to be used to split Sam from Rain, and hopefully it will leave Sam with the Kryptonian abilities that she had as Rain, and this will hopefully lead her to going to the future to learn how to use these abilities and to become a hero of her own. So other than that, guys, I want to know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. How do you think Rain is going to be defeated? Do you think it's going to be using that black rock that is going to turn into some sort of black kryptonite or something, or do you think some other way is going to end up defeating Rain? I want to know your thoughts on all of this down in the comments below. But until next time, guys, it's been Tazz, and I'll see you guys in the next video.